So I thought I would just pop in here and talk a minute about routine. I found for myself that when I have something big come in and change up our life, shake up our life a little bit, that I tend to stray away from some of my daily routines. Some of them I never stray from because it just helps me stay sane. I like my morning ritual is pretty much the same all the time. But one thing I've found these last couple of weeks that I've had this new client that's taking a lot of my time is I quit making the beds in the morning. I quit making the bed in the morning, which I'm one of those people who feels like my life is incomplete without my bed made in the morning. And I know that's so weird to some people. And to me, it's really weird that some people just leave their beds all disheveled. I still remember being a teenager and leaving my bed like that and getting in trouble by my mom. My mom would make me make my bed every day, and I remember hating it. But apparently she succeeded in conditioning me to feel like that's what's right. And my husband is one of those that never made his bed. Like the whole time we were dating, and anytime I come over here, the bed was just never made. And being that I was not here like a ton, that didn't bother me. But since it's our home now, and when I come in here throughout the day, if I'm putting away laundry or if I'm getting something, if the bed is unmade, literally bothers me. Anyways, so I've been really busy, and it's just been one of those things where I'm like, I just don't have time for that. And I'll just flutter on to 100 other things. But every time I come in our room, it bothers me that it's not made. So I've kind of reached this point where work things are kind of mellowing out a bit. It's really the same workload, but it's just a matter of me kind of getting my head around it. I always have like an adjustment period in the beginning where I've got to kind of just figure stuff out. Another thing that I have really gotten out of routine about is in the last, I think, maybe 4 or 6 weeks, maybe just 4, I have not been doing daily yoga. And I went to reach down for something on the floor this morning and standing flat-footed with my legs straight, not bent. And when I reached down to get something, it pulled that muscle in the back of my thigh and made me realize how tight it was. Because it's one thing if you never do yoga or any sort of stretching or exercise and things just feel the way they feel when you bend. But if you have a routine that you do frequently and then you stop doing it, you notice how you feel different. And today it was just kind of like, okay, I went to bed really early last night. I slept really great. I woke up by 5, and then here I was at like 6 o'clock, not having to do anything really yet. And I was really tight. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do yoga. I've not done it in a long time. I need to get back into that. It was part of my morning routine, a daily practice for me, which serves as a form of exercise, flexibility, but also part of my spirituality because I blend meditation with my yoga. So at the end of yoga, I sit and meditate, which is also my daily gratitude practice. So all of those things I've not been doing for 4 weeks. I've not been doing my daily meditation. And it's really just a matter of, that's way different than making the bed. It takes me like 30 seconds to make the bed, and I don't know why I even put something like that off. But my yoga actually takes probably 45 minutes because my yoga routine itself is only 20 minutes, but then it just goes on however long I feel like meditating. That's not really planned or scripted or anything. So I did that this morning, got my stretch in, and definitely had some muscles that were very resistant to stretch. But I think I kind of strayed away from it too because my back's not been bothering me much the last month or two. And I'm going to guess it's because I've not been going hardcore on gardening, which is a good thing. So anyways, just thought I would share that my routine has been messed up, and then I'm trying to get back into the flow of things, and it feels really good. And side note, we are 20 days away from our beach vacation, which I'm really stoked about. That is our one big family trip for the year. My husband used to do that all the time. He went 7 or 8 years in a row, went down to the beach in Gulf Shores, and then quit and hasn't been back. I'm guessing maybe about 5 years. So that was part of his family tradition. I've never been to that beach, but I do love the beach. So his older kids remember that and really always enjoyed it. So we're going to restart that tradition this year. And we have a condo reserved on the beach, and I'm really, really excited about it. I'm hoping to go parasailing. Yay! Never done that before, and I've always wanted to. And then there's also, we might do this, this boat sunset tour cruise thing where you can see dolphins. That would be really fun. That's also something else I've always wanted to do. Anyway, so that is going to be a lot of our kids, not all of our kids. I think the oldest one, Jeff's oldest daughter, won't be coming. But then I think everybody else is. So it'll be 6 of our 7 kids, plus my mom, plus a significant other of one of the older kids. So lots of people. We rented a 3-bedroom condo that sleeps like, I don't know, 12 or 15 or something. So anyways, pretty pumped about it. And that's just 20 days away, which also has my mind stirred about finances, because in case you guys haven't figured out yet, I am a bookkeeper by trade, but I am just a numbers junkie. Like, I think about numbers all the time. I'm really good with numbers, and I love budgeting, analyzing numbers. I love paying bills. I love everything having to do with money. It doesn't stress me out like it does most people, but when we have like a trip coming up, I'm always thinking, okay, how much needs to be put back for XYZ? How much is this going to cost? I always do a budget for our trips, but we always go over, and I don't know. You would think that I would have figured that out by now, but my vacation mode is let's just have fun. Swipe, swipe, swipe. Let's have fun. You know, like if I did not budget for some $200 adventure that everybody wants to go on, I'm paying for it. I'm doing it because I'm all about living in the moment and being adventurous and having fun. So I try to, when I'm not in vacation mode, remember that about myself and budget better for my own sanity, just so I know, like, I budgeted for this, it's covered, XYZ. There always ends up being something extra. And I'm just, more than anything, I'm grateful that we're in a place in life where we can do that and where we can afford that. And I don't know, because I often still think about that it was not that long ago that I was in a drastically different financial situation. And that, now granted, I've always traveled, I've always found a way, but I did a lot of cheap and free things because I just wanted the experience. And then now that I make more money and we're able to do more things that actually cost, I'm all about experiencing those things because I couldn't in the past. And I definitely travel more frequently now. And then just in general, I definitely just spend more money than I did before. But I could do a whole video on my financial mindset change over the years. And if I had not come to several different realizations within my own mind, I never would have ended up in the career that I'm in, nor as financially successful as I am. It's insane. I really feel like I could write a book about just the ways that my life has changed, like in the last 4 or 5 years. Just since right before my husband and I got together. Because honestly, whenever I met my now husband, I was at the end or in the middle or end of a divorce. And I was at my lowest financially. And so he met me when I was struggling. I had been super successful in real estate. And then I had about 2 years in between after I moved to Arkansas where I was switching careers and trying to find my new groove. Where we had a painting business for a while, and then I did other things. I did freelance work from home, but still, it was literally just to make ends meet. There was nothing really successful about what I was doing then. I was trying everything you could think of. I did have a YouTube channel then. You would see all that over on my main channel, which is Elizabeth Husky Ritchie, and it's linked down in the description below if you would like to see it. But that was, it was 2018 and 19. no, 2017 and 2018 that I was in financial crisis and literally just trying to get by. It was just me and my boys. I was a single mom, and like there was I think it was a 2018 Christmas. Then my mom and my sister bought my boys a bunch of stuff for Christmas because I knew I just couldn't afford it. Like I literally could not afford it. I did everything I could to keep food on the table, and I would go without food to make sure that my kids had food because they were preteen boys, which ate a lot. And I was just doing everything I could, working my tail off. But the biggest thing was I did not realize my mental mindset around money was constantly working against me and was causing me a lot of issues. So I eventually began to really self-examine that and found that I believed that I did not deserve to be wealthy. I did not deserve to be successful. And I was in a constant state of survival. And there's nothing bad about a survival mindset except that you tell yourself you're always fighting to survive. And at some point, all of us survivors need to learn how to thrive. And there's a big difference between a survivor mindset and a thriver mindset. And I realized that for myself, and I made the switch. I did a lot of meditations and like guided hypnosis sessions for myself to try to break these bad conditionings, things I had learned from family, friends, life experience, and our culture, and to just learn how to be more successful, starting mentally at first, and then you put in the work and the effort, and you reap the rewards. And so that was a life changer for me. My income has literally doubled every year since 2019. I started in 2019 with kind of reframing it, switched careers, following my intuition. I got into something I was just really, really good at, and never in my whole entire life would I have ever thought I would be a bookkeeper, and was just super good at it. But if I had not made those changes and made the switches for me in my mind, I would have never been good enough with money to get paid to manage other people's money, which is what I do. I get paid to pay other people's bills, to handle their investments, to help run the financials for small businesses. I have 11 clients, of which like 9, I handle every penny of their finances, and they trust me to do that, and I do great at it. So it's fun. I think it's fun. It's just a little talk about me, I guess. And if you want to hear more about my financial adventures and things that I learned and things that I've done that have been successful, comment below and let me know. I love an abundance mindset, the ability to bring and will into your life money, if that's what's important to you. The one thing I think that with all the different books that I've read, I'm a really big reader, and if I don't have time to read, I listen to audiobooks constantly while I work. And one of the big things that I've come across on a financial mindset is that you have to get to a point to where you realize that you don't need the money. A lot of people are trying to manifest money into their life. They want to be a millionaire. They want this and that. You have to realize at some point, to really have a breakthrough, that you don't need that money. That money is not going to give you happiness. It is not going to give you contentment. It is not going to make you feel better. What makes you feel content, happy, and safe and all of that is how you feel in your mind. You make yourself feel that way. The money does not make you feel that way. You make yourself feel that way because you have the money. Therefore, you can make yourself feel that way without having the money. So all money is a physical exchange of energy. Anyways, I could go into that for hours and hours upon hours. So back to the weekly vlog. We are two younger daughters. My husband's youngest daughters had been out of town for a little over a week with their mom in Texas, and so their mom lives here. Their mom took them to Texas. So anyways, they all got back, and we had not seen them, and we usually don't go more than like 5 to 7 days without seeing them. So of course we were missing them. So they were back. So we went last night, took them out to eat. So it was our 4 youngest kids, and we all went and had Dairy Queen and ice cream. So good. Anyways, I didn't vlog that. Towards the end of the evening, I thought, oh, I should have shared that. Bummer. Totally forgot. So, anyways, so then in a few days they'll be here, which will be great. And the biggest plans I have coming up that I will be sharing with you guys in the next couple of days is on Saturday. I have a baby shower to go to for my nephew, my first nephew to have a baby, which his fiance, not him. And then that evening is a birthday party for my niece, different side of the family. And they're like literally run into each other time-wise, but they're 2 hours apart. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make them both, but I really want to. I love parties and get-togethers. But so that means like noon to like 9 p.m. That's what I'm going to be doing. My husband won't go. My husband does not do get-togethers. He has a social anxiety. So if there's more than like 5 people, he's uncomfortable. So all of like the family parties, birthdays, whatever, other than major holidays, he will go to major holidays. He just doesn't go to. So that will likely be me or me and my boys, depending on who wants to go. I don't force them to go because they are teenagers. But for the most part, they do enjoy seeing their family. So that's what's up. That's what's going to be happening. And today, I'll bring you guys along tonight. My youngest son, who is 16, is getting his senior pictures taken tonight. And I'm so excited. So he only has, if he continues on with Penn Foster Online, he only has a couple of months left to be completely done and to graduate. However, he's 16. He has always been developmentally behind and struggled in school and struggled academically. So he is doing a lot better with the online program because obviously it's like one-on-one, and if he has questions, whatever. So it's a lot better for him. But also because he's 16, he misses school. He misses friends. He misses the school stuff. So he's asked me recently if he could be allowed to go back to school and finish his senior year on campus. So the thing with that, I'm kind of nervous about that because he would not be in his class. He would be a year ahead of his class. So he would be in his brother's old class with people he doesn't hardly know. And then 2 of his best friends that he last went to school with before the C word moved away. So his original support system at school would no longer be there. However, principal's awesome. Teachers are awesome. Guidance counselor. I know everyone there. We live in a small town. It's a really good school. It's just whenever all of that happened in the world, it was just so much easier for me to just bring my kids home and keep them at home. And so that's what we've done. But he wants to go back, and he's just 16. And part of me thinks, well, if we do that and he does an actual senior year, he would graduate next May and he would be like 17 and a half. And that's a much better age for him to enter the world and the workforce. And so I don't know, I just feel like that would be better for him. But then I kind of wonder, am I being too protective? And should he just finish the program he's in? But he wants to go to school. My husband thinks it's a waste of time because he could be done in 2 months. And instead, if he starts school, then he's got to commit to 9 months. And so I kind of agree that it's a waste of time, but also at the same time, I'm like, he's not really ready mentally to join the workforce full time because he's only 16. So I don't know. What's y'all's thoughts on that? Obviously, the decision is going to end up coming down to what I think is best. I've talked to my mom about it. I've talked to my husband about it. I've talked to my kid about it, and I'm sharing it with you guys. But what the final say will be what mom thinks. What does mom think is best for her baby? Because I want him to have the best start at life. Like the transition from high school to workforce, because he's more than likely not going to go to college. I want him to be as prepared as he can be as well as mentally and emotionally ready. And because he is developmentally behind, I feel like he's not even really like putting him in work. I feel like he's more like the mental equivalent of a 14-year-old. And I'm not saying that as an insult to my child. I'm saying that as in that's just our reality. And so I have always given him more time to adapt to things and to have realistic expectations of him. And when I've done that, that has really served him well. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. But anyways, probably too much talking. So I will get back with you guys tonight when we go to do his senior pictures, because we're doing that no matter which route he goes through with finishing school. Because we've actually had this scheduled for like 4 or 5 months, and between myself and the photographer, who is a family friend, we've postponed it like 6 times, and tonight it's finally on. So we're doing it so that at least we can just get it done and have it over with, and he's pretty excited. That's all.